to Culz Sports Chat, episode 39, I believe. We are back to talk NFL, but obviously Bobby's got a New York Yankees hat on. We got to start there. Bobby, they are down 3-0 in the series and 2-0 tonight. How are they going to
I
turn
don't
it
know. I
around?
don't think this is good. I mean, they're not the same team they used to be. It's just not
Yeah, the
hitting. Not
talking point
it
today is
sucks.
Judge not showing up in the big game.
Judge keeps striking out. He
Yeah,
stinks
is
in
it?
the playoffs.
What is it now? It's still 2-0?
Yep. You got two guys
2-0,
on
bottom
base
of the
one
first.
It's only the first.
out.
It's only the first.
So I think in the history of teams to be down 3-0 in the World Series,
Don't come back
the
easily.
combined all the teams have only won 3 games. So for the Yankees to come back and win the series,
That's
they would have to win more games than the entirety of all teams that have been down 0-3.
Yep. I don't see it happening.
Yeah, Dodgers showed
They're a
up,
hot team.
Yeah. Who won their conference first? It was the Yankees, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. But hey, maybe the ghost of Yogi Berra will come back.
Mickey Mantle,
We'll
Babe
talk
Ruth.
It's never over till it's over.
They say, "Oh, the ghosts are always around."
Yeah, that's right. That's right. The ghost of Yankee Stadium. You can never put them down. They're always around.
I actually just got a book on Yogi Berra, so I will have to read that and review it on the channel.
So, how many games did I win this week? What was my record going? My predictions.
To be fair, I don't know. I did not look back and check that. Because you picked all underdogs, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So, I mean, you did okay. If you picked the Browns, you won that one. Titans, you did not.
Yeah.
Titans got smoked, I think, like the majority of us thought. This week was crazy for any Chicago fans. The return of the double doink. This is probably worse. Uh, as well as we got trades happening today. We got quarterback benchings.
Yep.
Lots of news going on. Quarterbacks tapping out. I'm not sure what that was about. We'll get to it. Lots of stuff going on. As well as fantasy football. The trade doors were opened apparently today because 4 trades were accepted today. So
yeah,
pretty.
I got one more. I got one more from your mom. So she's another.
Look at that. Bobby is loading up. He's going to make a run. He won this week in fantasy.
Yep.
And now he's going to make the run. Let's start in fantasy, and then we'll work our way around. So let's look at last week, Bobby. You did win. You came out. You weren't projected to.
Well, next time you like 50 points.
Right. Hey, he had a game. You weren't projected to win, but you came back and you won 120 to 116. So very good job, Bobby.
Yep.
You are 2-6, and let's see where you fall in the playoff. So you're 12th. So you're only 2 games back, or 2 spots back, I should say, from playoffs. We'll still 4 games to go. So plenty of time to make that playoff run. Let's see what else was going on this weekend. I beat Iowa Eagles. Iowa Eagles actually had a game. Maybe because just all their players were actually not on a bye week this week. But we had a good game there, 149-122. Brendan took care of California Sun Hitters, 159-108. Dark Horse was just murdered by Grayson, 175-100. What happened, Bobby? Tell us why about 3-0. The Dodgers are now up 3-0 and 3-0. Just threes all around for the Dodgers right now in the World Series. We're coming to you live, not from Bobby has quit. He's gonna go turn off the TV. He's done. Like we said, Bobby plays in red. Scott, you guys had a pretty competitive game up till the end. David is on a multi-game win streak since he thought he was going to get first overall pick. So maybe that's what I need to just say. I'm going to win,
Yeah.
get first pick and then go.
Yeah, I lose by 20 and a half points, but going into the game, I was actually up by about a point, about a point and a half going into the game, not quite two. And then I'm watching, and Dak throws two interceptions, and I'm like really, really happy about how it's going. And then he throws two touchdowns to CD Lamb, and that shot me for the week. I was really hoping for another crap out from Dak Prescott, and I was starting to get it, and then he throws to CD Lamb, and game over.
Hey, Shane is willing to trade his soul for anyone's kickers. If anyone's out there looking for a fresh soul, just got to trade him a
I
kicker.
just sold mine, so I'd love a new one. Have another one.
Brendan, that's how you keep winning. Brendan made the deal. Now he's going to go undefeated too. That's BP Bears did not beat the Bats for you, Scott.
Well, I got the bats this week, so now it's my turn. I'll get them this week.
Scott's gonna go Thanos from one of the end credit scenes where he just says, "I'll fine, I'll do it myself," and he'll go to and beat him. So that should be a fun matchup. And then Thundercats beat South Park Cows 145-96. And then Shane opened up the trade floor. He posted his season being over, and if anyone wants to throw trades his way, he is interested. And trades were happening aplenty. Let's look at some of the trades. Bobby, you made a trade.
Oh my god!
I forgot I gotta actually click on the trade so I can tell you guys.
Brendan proposed a trade to me. Rashad Bateman.
So Bobby traded away Cam Akers and is getting Braylon Allen. Be a pretty good pickup. You've had a weak spot at running back there, so a rookie running back who's getting more playing time should be good, especially with Rodgers not playing so hot. They're gonna have to lean on their running game. So I think that was a good pick there, Bobby. Then, like I said, South Park Cows going to town with trades. This one, they are receiving Noah Fant and sending away to Atwell. So I thought that was a pretty good one.
I accepted Brendan's trade.
Damn
it. Whoa. We have another trade live. Breaking news. Bobby, can you explain the deal of the trade?
Rashad Bateman and Keon. So Brendan gets Keon Coleman.
Wow. All right. Well, there's another trade. I know I have three in the works, or three proposals for what's his face?
Devontae Adams.
That dude.
Yeah, man.
No. I deleted mine.
That's a good pick. I got a good player out of that.
Here we go. Bobby's happy. Let's see. There's so many trades now. Which one's this? No, it's the Braylon Allen we already talked about.
Yeah, I got that one.
Oh, South Park Cows also getting Rico Dowdle, running back Dallas in exchange for Will Disley, tight end Chargers. So kind of low there. Nothing crazy, but if both hit, both teams, I guess we'll be happy. What was the other one? 1, 2. Oh, Dark Horse. That's right. So it looks like South Park Cows are getting Tyjae Spears running back, and the Jacksonville Jaguars defense exchange for D'Ernest Johnson and the Chargers.
Oh, sorry, won't trade him.
Got any of those early ones that are surprising you?
Yeah, it's just the more the number here, right at the must be coming up to the trade deadline. So all kinds of things. I don't know. I'm kind of. I have Anthony Richardson, and I might need to post him up there maybe for some draft picks. Because otherwise, I'm not sure what's going on with him. So
Hey,
I
we
was
can
really
trade
excited to
Anthony
draft him, and
Richardson
now
for
I'm not.
Devontae Adams. How about that, Scott?
Yeah, I don't know. We'll have to see. I'm okay with my receivers, except for Brian Thomas having his ribs injured and stuff like that. Might be out a couple weeks, but we'll see how that goes. But I'm okay on my receivers. Quarterback, I guess I could use a solid quarterback. Anybody really want to take a shot on their? I could maybe go with Bo Nix. I was going to want to draft on Bo Nix. I could maybe offer up for Bo.
There we go, Bobby Bo Nix.
I'm not trading him.
All right, no go there. Bo Nix off the board.
We'll see. We'll see.
No. I'm not trading him. Nope.
How about my whole team for Bo Nix?
No.
Bobby, you would
I'm
probably
sitting
would.
at 7-1, and you know you don't want to be 7-1. Apparently, you'd get Coleman back.
What about Amon-Ra St. Brown for Devontae Adams? Should I accept this trade?
Is that a serious trade?
Yes. From Dark Horse.
I mean, I told you not to go to Blake, but that's really tempting.
It is tempting, but I don't know if I'll take it.
That's his best receiver. And Devontae's second and old.
What?
No, he's been putting up better points now that he's with the Jets.
Great.
Still getting up there in age, though.
Oh, not too bad. Yeah. Might have to take that one. We will see. That wouldn't be a bad one. I cannot disclose. They're not finalized. But in real world, we did have a trade today. Deontay Johnson from the Panthers. There's too many of these Dante names. Going to the Ravens. So the Ravens just getting better. Now, they did lose to the Browns. So perhaps some people might say they needed to focus more on defense. Then again, maybe the Browns were just always that good without Mr. Watson playing. So we shall see this week. Scott, how did you feel about that trade?
Well, it's interesting. I'm sure he's happy to get away from the Panthers. Everything I see from the Panthers is kind of like not really sure what's happening with the whole organization. So I'm happy to get out of Carolina, especially to go to the Ravens. So be happy for that. I'd be unhappy for the opposite half of that trade. I don't think they'd be very happy right now, but see how that goes.
Right. Yeah, I know the whole Carolina situation, it's much like it was last year. It's not very good. And offense not very good. They're talking maybe Chuba's gone. Maybe a couple of their other receivers gone. Whoever's playing receivers just in a bad situation because you're going to get double covered by all their best cornerbacks. Quarterback can't even get you the ball. Just not a good situation in Carolina. So yeah, we'll monitor that. They did what we thought they would do this week. They got murdered. So I think that's the easy call going forward. But yeah, how about this? Rams beat the Vikings. And it didn't even look close. Oh, hold on. We got Grayson. Did you accept the trade?
No, he
What
did
trade?
not.
What?
We were just hoping since the floodgates broke open today that even more trades were going through. We had one live. Brendan and Bobby just traded live on our chat.
Can't wait to see what this is all about. Let's go.
There's only like 5 accepted trades, Grayson.
Yeah. Thank you, Grayson, for murdering your opponent.
Yeah, no, I was really happy with the outcome. I can say that much, not just because of my opponent, but
Yeah.
CD finally did something for you.
Oh my god, dude, it took forever.
I was like, good thing I'm not playing Grayson this week. Damn.
Dude, I was beating him like a redheaded stepchild. It was bad. Well, these are interesting trades right here. Ignore me. Why don't you guys keep going on, and I will catch up as I can.
Well, while we're talking, Bobby, any live updates of the World Series?
Still 2-0. Bottom of the second inning.
Oh, I thought it was 3-0.
2.
I mean, I don't think the Yankees are coming back.
No.
So, Brendan, any thing that stuck out to you this week for NFL?
Now that you put me on the spot, no. I knew there was something.
Well,
Arizona
Jameis
might be
Winston.
more.
Yeah, Jameis Winston came out of the cobwebs better than I was expecting. We'll see. Have to see how he does after the first week.
He definitely ran with his opportunity.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, the Browns looked fantastic. I know I texted Grayson that as soon as they won. I didn't want to jinx it, so I waited till after they had won the game.
Much appreciated.
Because I was like, I feel bad. The Browns look good. The Rams look good. The Vikings, though, did not look too hot. There's a lot of times, and I know one of their linemen got hurt, I think. But Darnold, his arm almost looked shot. Like, there was multiple times the receivers were open, and he just was not hitting them. He was missing by, 10 yards short. So we will see. This has now been 2 in a row the Vikings have dropped. Are they going to get better? I don't know. I know today I was listening to some sports people, and they were like, imagine a world where the Vikings lose again and the Jets get blown out on Thursday night and the Vikings make a call for Aaron Rodgers.
Now that would be a shock if the Jets agreed to that. Now that would be a shock.
I mean, what about just getting another interim head coach, like fire the interim and get an interim head coach?
Yeah.
It's never his fault. It's everybody else's fault.
Yeah.
Now it's the media's fault.
I've heard Deion might leave Colorado for the New York Jets. Coaching
No way Deion goes to the Jets. No, there's a better chance of him going to Dallas. Eagles won, Brendan, 37-17. It was sort of close for a while. And then the Bengals, odd choice to go for it at that point of the game. And then from there on out, the Eagles just ran away with it. So they did kind of stop them there. They were only down by 10, but then it just kept growing and growing after that. So Eagles did what they needed to. They are now 5-2, so still alive for that race. The Browns.
the
What?
Bears game, I was both really happy and really sad at that last play, just because Jaden Daniels is my quarterback. I benched him, but that was an amazing pass, an amazing play. But I'm also sitting there like, if the Commanders lose this game, then we're sitting on top of our division, and now we're not.
Yeah, we'll get to that. It was a lot more luck than anything, and the defense taking it off, some holding going on that they just didn't want to call.
Well, the cornerback wasn't even near the play, so that's okay. He was taunting
No,
the fans.
he wasn't near the play. The entire defensive line was being held. If you look at the pass, it's very, very clear. Uh, and then, of course, you need a fluke play to win it. So, Commanders won that one, though, in a kind of bad game. I actually watched it, and I was like, oh, terrible. The Bears' offensive line that was already kind of trashy looked even more trashy once the two left starters went out. Then they were just open for sacks at that point. Just send everybody. It's like Oprah Winfrey. Everyone was getting a sack at that point. Just send them all in. Talking about teams just getting annihilated. The Lions got smoked, or Lions smoked the Titans 52-14 with a grand total of like 58 passing yards. So barely any passing yards, but they didn't need it. They still murdered the Titans, so that was good for them. Let's see. Cardinals beat the Dolphins last second 28-27. Scott, how was that one?
Well, you know what? I have to say the Cardinals defense really did pretty well, especially with Tua led Miami offense, which has looked better than they have been the last couple weeks. Um, so yeah, that was a surprising win for the Cardinals. I think we'll have to see now if the Cardinals can actually make it 2 weeks in a row now. But we'll see if they can kind of use that Miami game as a stepping stone for a better finish for this year. I'm not sure yet. Well, I'll have to. I'm going to wait and see what I'm going to have to wait and see
Oh,
what for the rest of the Cardinals year.
mhm.
Bobby, you side there. Did the Yankees give up another one?
Nope, they're down 2-1. They just scored a run.
Oh, 2-1. Okay, there we go. Bobby's happy. I mean, like we said, we still got a lot of game. Talking about a season that might be over. The Jets, I think we all picked the Jets, and they just looked terrible. They lost to the Patriots team that has been just getting beat up. So I don't know where you go from there. Falcons barely squeaked by the Baker-led Bucks, and Baker was doing everything to try to help that team. But without a wide receiver, I really thought Deontay would maybe go there, but then again, it's in division. I wouldn't be surprised though if we see a receiver of some sort go to Tampa Bay. Um, Packers won a close game over the Jaguars. Jaguars looking a little bit better at this point in the season. They're not going to make the playoffs, I don't think.
Well, they just lost their receiver.
Yeah. Well, luckily they have like 5 starting receivers for some reason. So, Gabe Davis, I think, will be back this week. I'm not 100% sure. Yeah, Brian Thomas Jr. got hurt. And then we'll go to this game. The Colts were in the game. They ended up losing. Texans have to be the biggest letdown probably of the young season. Just they're winning, but they're not looking as good as they did last year. They were really hot. And then Scott, the Colts were in it, but Anthony Richardson late took himself out, a healthy scratch. What are your thoughts there?
Uh, that's a good question. That's a good question. I don't really know what's going on there. I mean, it's something that, from what I've heard, I didn't see it myself. From what I heard, it was like, if he had just made like a 75-yard run and was really out of breath, then then I could kind of understand. But from what I've heard, that was not the case. In the middle of a nice, good series, he suddenly takes himself out when he should be going for, I believe it was a third and some distance, short distance, from what I've heard. I didn't watch it myself. That's that's very questionable, I would say. So I don't know. We're gonna have to see what the Colts do. Obviously, they've gone ahead and benched him, bring in Flacco, and think that's a for whole lot better leadership for the Colts than Richardson, even especially right now.
Yeah, I mean, you got to be happy that they brought him in. Grayson, as someone that got to see the Flacco magic last year, what are your kind of like words for Scott going forward with Flacco? Oh, you're on mute.
Honestly, with Flacco, it's he as soon as he starts getting comfortable, it's game over. He's like any quarterback. He's a tool that needs to be used in the right way. If the coaches don't know how to use him, it's going to be bad for both the team and the coaches. But I think Flacco's got enough experience in this league, and people that know and like Joe Flacco are able to use him the way he needs to be used. So
Yeah.
it just takes time for him to get in the swing of things before he's firing on all cylinders like usual.
Yeah.
Yeah, should be in safe hands there. The Chargers taking care of business, won 26-8. The Saints are still super beat up, so I don't think too much of a surprise there. Let's see. Next one, Bills killed the Seahawks, man. I don't know what to say. Seattle looked bad, just all around. For a while there, we were in it, and then Bills just a much better team. Let's see. The Broncos, like we said, beat the Panthers. Towards the end, they did let the Panthers come back a tad, but wasn't as close as the score says. I mean, Bo Nix had his best game as a pro, 284 yards throwing. So, Chiefs 7-0 now, beating the Raiders in a close one, 27-20. The Bears losing the Commanders 18-15. And then Cowboys 49ers wasn't really that close for much of the game, but Cowboys started kind of chip away towards the end, but just not enough because they let themselves get down in a big hole. And then Steelers beating the Giants. I didn't watch this one because I was tired of seeing the Steelers in prime time. Did anyone else watch the Steelers beat the Giants?
I watched the first half. I actually kind of thought it was funny. The last, I don't know, 3 or 4 weeks, it feels like every Thursday night, Sunday night, and Monday night games are all covered in yellow. They're very flag happy games. And the commentators actually even commented on it yesterday. They were like, here's another week of yellow flags, yet another one. And I don't know. I don't think it's every game because the 1 o'clock and the 3 o'clock games I watch aren't as flag happy. So I don't know why these late games are so penalty heavy.
Well, I would say some of the it's very weird because that sometimes the commentators get very focused on repeatedly pointing out penalties that weren't called for like 10 minutes straight. And then other times just like going on about there's too many penalties. So they need to just pick one side or the other. Like they can't have it both ways. That's how that works. Grayson, any thoughts on the penalty situations going on?
Honestly, I feel like it's just overkill. I don't know what they're trying to do. I don't know if they're trying to just send a message that they're trying to be, fair and balanced. Well, obviously, a lot of other games are not being shown that way, or if they're just trying to show that they're not playing favorites. I feel like Roger Goodell and a lot of other main figures that have been criticized just for the over, favoritism towards many teams. Pittsburgh. Anyway, um, stuff like that. I feel like has plagued this league for way too long, and for some reason they're deciding now just to pick the prime time games where people are paying the most attention to like over scrutinize everything to show that they're being fair. They're not looking aside on anything. They're watching. Even though by the time the Super Bowl comes around, it's the Chiefs again. It's gonna be, it is what it is. But that's my thoughts on that, to be honest with you.
Yeah, one could say the talk of the Chiefs being favored by the refs may have led to the refs just starting to call more penalties. Because they're like, well, actually, it's really hard sometimes. There was like the Vikings game where there was the face mask or whatever in the end zone. From where the ref standing behind them was standing, it was probably hard to see, especially at the game speed. And honestly, I don't think it would have changed the game that much. Darnold looked really pretty bad that game. So, I don't know. There was a what coach was it? He said never let it be that close that the refs can interfere in the score. If it's that close that the refs can change the outcome, you have failed your job. So, do not let it get that close.
Yeah.
What my manager always used to say too, he said, if you're complaining about one play causing you the game, then there was probably others that led up to that one play that was your demise.
Right. Yeah, and usually just because one didn't get called, for you, there's probably one that should have got called on you that didn't. So, that's kind of how it rolls. Let's look at fantasy this week, and it's really hard now because there's like 35 trades popped up. All right, so I play Blake, and he must be okay sending me his top receiver if I'm playing him. So I don't know if he just gave up because he was first place, and now he's just been being beat. So Grayson, he broke him. We're not sure what happened there.
He ran into the Enterprise. I mean, I kicked his butt. I beat him. Grayson kicked his butt. Now he's probably going to lose to you because you're the highest scoring team in the league.
He just wants to give me his best player too.
He just ran into the Enterprise, Grayson and I, and he's just giving it up now because
there's a little part of me that just wants me to give you my best players just to get through this week and just annihilate them again. I just want no spirit left in Blake.
What was it like 2 years ago, Keegan? You were like, Blake called you out and you called your shot. You were going to beat him by 100, and you actually beat him by 100 and something points.
Hey, it's all about knowing your team. Let's see. Talking about another team that was hot but it's been losing as of late. The Sunheaders are going up against Grayson, whose team has been pretty hot on a roll lately. And then Iowa Eagles, Blazing Red could be a battle for first pick going on there. Oh, Bobby, you're playing Brendan. So that's why you've been taking all these trades. You're getting ready to beat Brendan? Is that your play?
Yeah.
And you said you're taking another one from Blazing Red? Is that what you said?
I rejected that one. That they wanted Nick Westbrook incline. I'm like, nope, sorry, not trading him.
Okay, we got a trade rejection live on the pod. Scott, like you said, you're playing Birmingham Bats. Should be a pretty good one there.
Yeah, I think just kind of looking at the teams, although Bats has is Justin Herbert. And I was thinking, how am I going to replace Ryan Thomas? And I'm looking at my two better bench receivers, and they're both Chargers. So I'm kind of like, well, do I take Palmer or do I take Quentin Johnson, and then give up the other points to Herbert? Uh, we'll have to see. I'll have to decide on that one. But otherwise, I got also have two cold receivers, and Alec Pierce and Mitchell. And if Flacco is going to be leading the Colts offense, maybe I'll take either one of those receivers. We'll have to see. I don't know. It'll be a surprise. I'm not telling your dad any secrets.
He might be watching. We can't let him know.
No.
Let's see. Shane plays Thundercats, so I guess that's why he gave up. He played them once, and he was going to play them again, and then there's 3 weeks left, and he'll be 2-7. But Shane, we still have some faith in you. David, who is on a 3-game win streak, is going against Brian, who was on a 3-game win streak when they first played, and it got David his first win. So maybe a little bit of revenge for BP Bears this week. We'll find out. See what the current standings are. Oh, Grayson's still 2 games behind Brendan, but Bobby said that's going to change. He's going to help you make that 1 game.
I mean, hey, I'll take all the help I can get. I went from bottom of the league to number 4, or number 5. Let's go.
And then plays in red 1-7 there, so pretty much just you two. In my division, I'm back on top finally. 6-2 with both Dark Horse and Sun hitters below me at 5-3. And then Iowa Eagles 1-7. The Thundercats only 1 game up on Cryptid Critter. So David has worked his way back. He might be able to win that division. So he was saying he was going to get first overall pick, and now look at him. Working slowly. And Bobby's 2-6, getting back in there. And then Birmingham Bats is 4 games up in that division. But Scott, you have worked your way back into the playoff picture. So all you need to do is just once you get in the playoffs, it's a new season.
Oh yeah, got to stay there. Got to stay there.
And this week, the only change up was South Park Cows dropped out of the playoffs. So only 3 of those teams, not all 4, would make the playoffs if it started today. So fun times there. Bobby, you think you're going to be making some more trades tonight?
I don't know. We'll see.
Oh, look at that. He is loading up. Are you going to trade for Amon-Ra St. Brown from Blake?
He hasn't had a thing yet. It hasn't popped up yet.
Okay. Well, I didn't think so, but if he offered you, would you take it?
Oh.
He might be watching. You never know.
He must be, because he posted on the chat.
What did he say?
He's getting impatient that you haven't made a decision yet.
For his best receiver? I mean, I might have to.
He really wants you to take it. I don't want Devontae Adams to go to him, though.
Because then I can trade.
That's a really, good trade, though.
Right? Well, then if I got Amon-Ra, I could trade A.J. Brown for somebody else. So he would open up the possibilities. Let's see. Where are we with the NFL? Who's playing on Thursday? Is it a dumb game again? It's the Jets. That's right. It's a dumb game. So it's the Jets, Texans in New York. This is what we kind of talked about earlier. If Houston just annihilates the Jets on prime time, maybe Aaron Rodgers gets traded. We're not sure, not 100%. But Bobby, who are you taking, Texans or Jets?
This week, Houston. Jets are horrible.
All right, we have an update. David says he has to look at the trades. He has 5 to go through. He has been proposed 5 trades.
Holy
So
cow.
David's team on the up and up. I don't know what happened. Shane, if you're watching, you opened the floodgates. I'm not sure why, but it happened. Scott, who you
I don't
taking?
know if that's true because I had 3 from Jill and Mark this morning, like as soon as I got up, and I got up at 5 a.m. So I don't know if it's just Shane.
Girls and Dublin.
No, but it happened like as soon as Shane like said something, all of a sudden all these trades I kept saying get accepted. So
You have one good game and you have people trying to take everything you got. Good lord.
Why won't you give me Allen, Grayson?
Because I don't want to.
Grayson, Keenan
I
Allen,
did send you a not a best offer.
Grayson,
So,
Keenan Allen for Devonte Adams.
I would. That's great. I would do that trade.
This is news to me, so I'm still in the consideration phase. I will.
I mean, I
make it
didn't
for
propose it. This was just off the cuff. I was improving.
I'm so not following.
Luckily, I didn't go for full Jared Leto there, though. I didn't mail you guys no weird packages. So.
Well, so you could have gone for a full Blake and just offered nothing but garbage and expecting the top players that we all have.
Yeah, that's the one trade I got from Blake. At least he reasonably traded something or offered you something, Keegan.
No.
It was almost the opposite. Anyway, Scott.
What's up, baby?
Let's see. You know what? For the Texans and Jets, actually, I'm going to go with the Texans on this one. Let's see. I know the Jets are slightly favored, but I'll go with Houston on this one for this pick. This would be good.
Brendan, why are you taking the Jets?
Because the Texans receiving core has gone to shit.
They still got like a bunch of good receivers. There was people talking about
Tank Dell. That's it. Stephon Diggs is out. Nico Collins is out.
they got
Colts
Hutchinson.
hasn't showed up yet this year.
They got Mechie. Mechie, there was teams start talking about trading for him to make him their number 1 receiver. They'll be fine.
Oh, I know they will. I'm not really taking the Jets. I'm taking Houston. I just played into your layup. So
No bits. No
I mean, that
bits.
is kind of a concern, though, is the Texans receiving core. But I do think they'll be able to take care of business. Yeah.
Grayson.
Oh shit!
I'm taking the Texans, even though they've had their issues. You can still
Attaboy!
put a blindfold on the Houston Texans, spin around 800 times, and let them wander around in the darkness, and they'll still find a W. If the Jets, even if you gave them a flashlight and a map to where they're supposed to go, they wouldn't be able to find their way. So, it was a mistake bringing Aaron Rodgers on. It's a mistake seeing him play. It's a mistake thinking that anything that the Jets are going to do and anything the Jets have done is going to be for any benefit other than the owners milking their fans for all that they're worth. So, sorry, got really passionate on that, but yeah, I'm taking the Texans.
Yeah, I mean, the Texans might just be in a long line of sports curses. I mean, we had the curse of the Billy Goat, the Madden curse, and now just maybe the New York Jets quarterback curse. It doesn't matter who they bring in. It's just it ends bad. The coaching's bad. I mean, I think since the beginning of last year, the quarterback with most wins is Zach Wilson at 4. So that kind of tells you the state of the New York Jets. Even with the Texans being slightly beat up, I'm going to take the Texans probably by 10. I don't even know if it'll be that close. And then who knows? We'll see trade deadlines next week, so it should be pretty interesting from there. All right. Brennan, we'll let you start this one. You're going to take the Cowboys over the Falcons?
Not over my dead body.
All right, so we got pretty easy one for Brendan. Falcons, he said it right there. Bobby.
Cowboys.
Whoa, you're taking the Cowboys?
Yep.
Bobby's trying to go again for all underdogs, it seems like. Scott.
Oh, I got to go with Atlanta on this one. Not yeah, not too much even a thought about it. Go with the Falcons.
Grayson.
Give me Big Kirko because he be dripping like that. The Atlanta Falcons are going to beat the Cowboys soundly.
Yeah, this might be a game. If you have any Falcons players, just play them, offensive players in fantasy, because I think the Falcons are going to score mightily easily. We've seen the Cowboys defense this year. Obviously, they've had coaching changes going on there, but it has fallen off and fallen off quick. So give me Atlanta as well. This one, maybe it's interesting, maybe it's not. Bobby, Dolphins or Bills? Who you taking?
Buffalo.
Buffalo,
Oh,
no
man.
underdog
Oh, yeah.
tonight.
Easy.
All right, Scott.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with Buffalo. Yeah, fairly easy on this one.
Brendan.
Buffalo. I don't even know if they looked Miami looked better, but something's not right there.
Grayson, what about you?
Yeah, give me the Bills. Miami's just not good enough this year, especially without losing the key part of their offense in Tua. So the Bills still look good. They've always looked good. I think they're going to win.
Yeah, give me Buffalo as well. Dolphins did look much improved. The receiving core actually was able to do something this week, but it's just not going to be enough. Maybe some of last week was rust, but again, you got to stop the opponents, and I just don't think that defense is going to be able to stop Josh Allen and Mari Cooper and all of them. Bobby, are you taking the Raiders over Cincinnati?
No. Cincinnati over the Raiders. I'm a Raider hater. Hater.
I know, but it could cost you bets. You know, you got.
Oh. Cincinnati.
Scott, what about you?
Yeah, Cincinnati. Gosh, a game with two teams that, again, you're never really sure which way either one is kind of going. Really was hoping that the Bengals were kind of going to turn it around last week, and then they kind of did baloney. So, but at home, I'm going to go with Cincinnati.
Brendan.
Cincinnati. I think they'll be able to bounce back from that loss from the Eagles and be able to take care of business.
Grayson.
That's a great question, Keegan, and I'm glad you asked it. We'll see. I'm honestly going to go with the Bengals just because I think they are a better team than the Raiders. And even though I don't like Joe Burrow and just what Joe Burrow's on some kind of other world right now. I think he'll still find a way to beat the Raiders, which is not hard to do. So, yerp.
Yeah, give me Cincinnati as well. The Raiders have looked kind of plucky, I guess, at times, but at other times just not very good. I know they brought in Desmond Ritter as a quarterback with the injury.
Yep.
And even with Cincinnati having some issues, they were able to stay in the Philly game for a while, so I feel more comfortable taking them. Bobby's walking away. Bobby,
Yeah.
tell us what's going on top of the fourth.
5-2 Yankees. Grand slam.
Now all the viewers know why Bobby got really excited for a second there. All right, what's next on the docket? Chargers, Browns, Grayson. Who you taking?
I don't know. After the change of this week, I'm gonna have to go. If they're gonna actually stick to it and pull it off, give me the Browns and give me Jameis Winston because hey, if they can pull it off with the Ravens, they can pull it off with the Chargers.
Bobby,
Cleveland.
Scott.
Yeah, I think once again, as in the past, it's like, which Jameis Winston are we going to end up seeing? And I kind of think, like in the past, the second time around, second game is not quite as good as the first. So I'm going to lean toward the Chargers on this one.
Brendan.
I'm going to go for Cleveland. I did actually want to ask Grayson the question is, how do you feel about Cleveland fans cheering the injury to Watson?
So that's a fair question. The way that I felt about it was I was not a bit upset at the fans. When I found out about it, I was happy about it. And it's not because of the allegations, it's not because of any of that stuff. It's the fact that, and I believe that a lot of people that have not been a Browns fan or have not been in a situation where they are constantly mistreated as a fan base, where they were excited about the fact that, and I think that a lot of Cleveland fans are not happy about him going down because of his performance or anything else like that. It's a culmination of how ownership and management and coaching has treated the fans as a whole. They can never just do what's best for the fans in order to keep people interested and try to get as many wins as possible. It is just to stay on the cutting edge or just to seem like they're doing something new. And so the fans were really just cheering over the fact that we wasted our cap space on one of the worst quarterbacks in football who had a barely untested career before he got let go of the Titans due to the Texans due to the allegations. And everybody's just tired of it. They're tired of him. They're tired of the franchise as a whole letting go of good players to get prima donna players that don't do anything. Johnny Manziel, LBJ, and now Deshaun Watson. It's just everybody's tired. They just wanted. We've had a chance to be top contenders. Baker Mayfield was one of the best quarterbacks in the league and still is. He is putting up points consistently. His performance on the field is fantastic, and we let him go. Joe Flacco came out of retirement and brought us into the playoff contention, and we let him out of our hands. It doesn't make sense to anybody that's a Cleveland fan, and everybody was just tired of the fact that they just keep getting kicked in the face, and the Browns franchise keeps going, no, we care about you guys. We want to win too. We're going to do everything we can to not win as a franchise. It's the dumbest thing, and it was not. I think it was more not a fact that he was, alleged offender or anything else. It's just we're all tired of the consistent taking one step forward, taking 18 steps back. It's ridiculous. So that's honestly what I feel like a majority of those fans were doing.
Well, plus I think they were kind of forced into having Watson continue in that spot. And unfortunately, this was probably the only way they were going to bench him, because it's not like his bad play was going to get him benched. He was already giving up numbers that were worse than like Jamarcus Russell, but they had to play him. I mean, and I don't know. I don't think they can cut him next year. I think they got to at least have him on the roster, because I think if they cut him, it's 111 million or something stupid like that next year.
Yeah, we're stuck between a rock and a hard place, and for some reason, ownership, coaching, and management are all just wanting to have Deshaun Watson on the field, and I just don't get it. I just don't get it.
And with that, I will also take Cleveland. No, I do think Cleveland will beat the Chargers. The Chargers offense has just not. They've had some weeks where they look okay. They're mainly a running team, and so to keep up with the Browns, who have now in back-to-back weeks with Jameis put up 20 plus points, I think it's going to be a little bit harder. So give me the Browns in this one. Bobby, New England's at home or New England's traveling to the Titans. Who you taking?
Tennessee over New England.
Ooh, Scott.
Yeah, let's see. Looking at the board here, Tennessee is 3.5 point favorite right now. Kind of hard to pick one or the other. I guess in this sense, I'm going to go with Titans just because they're.
Brendan.
I'll go New England. I'll trust in Drake May, and they found a
Drake
way
May got
to
hurt.
come back and beat what?
Drake May got hurt.
Oh, I didn't know
He
that.
only threw for like 20 yards. He was actually doing better as a runner. And then he got hurt, and Jacoby came in. So does that change your output?
Well, it was concussion, so if he gets through the protocol within a week, that's always a possibility.
Yeah, I still think New England. It's a coin flip. Choose your lesser of two evils.
Grayson, which evil are you choosing today?
Much like the Jets, the the Titans won't be able to find a win. They can't even find water, even if you hand them a glass. So, as bad as the Patriots are, they're going to beat the Titans.
Yeah, I'm going to take the Patriots as well. Could the Titans upset the Patriots? Yeah. It's a battle of two bad teams, and Patriots haven't looked really good at times, but they've had more glimmers of hope, I guess, than the Titans. So I'm going to take them there. Just the terrible games continue. This is a bad week. Commanders Giants, Bobby.
Washington Commanders. The Giants are horrible. Flat out horrible.
Hey, they almost beat Russ. Scott, what about you?
Yeah, I'm gonna go with the Commanders on this one. I'm not gonna necessarily say that the Giants are horrible, but they're not necessarily that great either. So I'm gonna lean toward Washington for this.
Brendan, it's kind of a rock and hard place. I mean, you want one quarterback to do well, but maybe you want the other team to win. To help the Eagles out.
What really sucks about this week for me is I have to choose between my fantasy quarterbacks, and I'm really not choosing who has the better matchup. It's who do I think is going to play the longest. They both have such easy games that I feel like they're both going to get benched in the fourth quarter because they're going to have such big leads. I choose Washington, though, over the Giants, even though it would be nice for the Giants to pull the upset.
Grayson.
What's the game we're talking about?
The Commanders and the Giants.
Give me Washington. Yeah, it's the David and Goliath story, but this time Goliath wins. It's going to be the Commanders.
Yeah, I'm also going to take the Commanders. I mean, just as a whole, they look like the better team and definitely more of a complete team, offense and defense. The Giants haven't looked as bad as I think a lot of people thought they were going to look with, a lot of the issues they had last year. But just compared to a team like the Commanders, I don't think it's going to be a blowout, but just because it's divisional. But it's not going to be a fun day for Giants fans. Continuing our just a beautiful, beautiful game slate this week. We have the New Orleans Saints traveling to the Carolina Panthers. Bob, which of these just terrible teams are actually going to win?
This one's going to be lopsided. I'm taking New Orleans. No, I'm taking New Orleans.
All right, we got New Orleans. Scott?
Uh,
Yeah, I feel just like Bobby feels. It's like, well, uh, I'm going to go with the Saints solely because I have Kamara in a number of leagues. So gonna go with a runner. Go with New Orleans.
Brendan.
I'll go Carolina. Um, I know that New Orleans blew Carolina out week 1, but New Orleans has, I don't know, went cliff diving and head first 40 feet off a cliff or something. Um, I mean, Carolina's not much better, but at least they're healthy. Or healthier.
Grayson.
This is really a toss up. It's two blind people trying to fight over a ham sandwich. It's honestly I don't know which one to pick. I'm gonna go wild just because I want to see Carolina at least get one more victory before the end of the season. So I'm gonna go Carolina.
Oh, man. Oh, I think I'm going to go with the Saints. I just don't think the Panthers have enough weapons. I
no.
know the Saints really don't either, but they got Kamara, and really the Saints have one kind of healthy receiver,
Yeah.
and so the defense just really's got to focus on him. Just give me the Saints. I don't know. It's not even the lesser of two evils. It's just like you kind of feel bad. You almost want them to both tie because they're so bad. Um, Bobby, Broncos, and Baltimore.
I think we're going to beat Baltimore by a touchdown.
Hey, you gotta have faith in your team, Scott.
Yeah, sorry, Bob. I'm going with Baltimore, primarily because they're at home and they've been playing pretty well in the last few weeks. Yeah, definitely going with Baltimore.
Brendan.
I also think Baltimore's going to win.
Well, Grayson is the lesser of two evils. Which one are you taking?
That is very true, Keegan. This is quite a conundrum I do find myself in. Do I pick what I think is realistic, or do I pick, just what I want to happen in my heart? Funny enough, these both happen to be the same thing. So I really, really, really think that the Baltimore Ravens are going to win, despite the fact that Bo Nix has taken the Broncos to greater heights than I expected them to go this year. I thought they'd have a record very much like Cleveland's, but they've shown up and in force. But I think Baltimore is still just too good. Lamar Jackson's still Lamar Jackson, and I don't think the Broncos are going to have any or as good a luck this time around, especially facing against the Ravens.
Broncos
Yeah,
are
what'd you say?
they're currently the 5th seed in the playoffs. The
The
Broncos.
Broncos? Well, yeah, but a lot of things
For
can
now.
happen. I'm also going to take Baltimore. I mean, the Broncos have a really good defense, but the Ravens can kill you in like a gazillion different ways on offense. They got two tight ends that can catch. They got a plethora of wide receivers. They got two really good halfbacks. One that's probably could just carry the entire Broncos defense on his back. And then, of course, Lamar can beat you air and on the ground. So give me Baltimore. I gotta see who the Bears are. Oh, okay. I might be starting Caleb this week though. Uh, all right, so here comes our first upset, Bobby. You taking the Jaguars over Philadelphia? Is that what I heard?
Nope. It's over at the Jaguars.
Okay, Scott.
Well, since I'm riding on the heels of Lawrence at quarterback, and I got Tank Bell at my receiver. I'm sorry, at my running back. Uh, Gonna really hope that it's a high scoring game, but in the end, I got to go with Philly for the final score. Going with the Eagles.
Brandon.
I'm going with the Eagles.
Grayson.
Give me the Eagles. The one time that a bird's going to beat a cat is going to be with the Eagles versus the Jaguars. Yeah, honestly, I think Jacksonville just like many teams for some reason over the past 5 years have done, especially recently, is just they're not doing any team building around the tools that they have and that they wasted draft picks for, that they did a lot of work to get. And so Jacksonville's just going to lose in a very big way to a way better team. So,
Would it be funny if the Jags go to Philadelphia and lose, and then Monday morning we hear Doug Peterson gets fired after he gets a loss quarter?
Or what if they go to Philadelphia and because Doug Peterson knows about the Eagles?
But he doesn't know the Eagles because Vic Fangio is the defensive coordinator.
Ugh.
It's a whole different regime.
But he knows. He knows how they want to play. I'm still taking Philadelphia. I think it'll be a fun game. I don't think it's going to be a blowout like some of these other ones so far. Probably the best one we've seen.
Yeah.
But I still think Philadelphia is a better team. I don't know if I want to say more complete because Sirianni might still be yelling at fans. I'm not 100% sure. As far as coaching, I'd still take him yelling at the fans versus Doug Peterson, whatever he's doing. All right, Scott, Bears or Cardinals? Who you taking?
Bears or Cardinals? Ah, good question. Good question. Gonna be a good game, I think. Uh, I don't know. I think maybe the Kyler Murray, Marvin Harrison relationship is getting better. Getting kind of lined up on that one. So I think in that sense, I'm going to lean toward Arizona against the Bears on this one. It'll be a good game. It'll be fun to watch, but going with Arizona, especially at home.
Brendan.
Which Bears team is going to show up? The
Yeah.
one that put a bunch of points up against the Jags, or the one that could barely score a touchdown against the Commanders? But at the same time, COD has been
but to put some stuff in there. When Jane Daniels did the same thing against the bad teams, everyone praised him. So I think to just lay on the feet of Caleb, too much expectations there. And to praise Jaden for the same things. Whoa, Bobby, what are you doing over there?
I know. I'm sorry.
Bobby's trying to get us shadow banned. Anyway, Brendan.
But also COD's been out for a week now, so Kyler Murray's going to start going downhill from here on out. So I'm going to go say Chicago.
Grayson.
To Brendan's point, Chicago's still a little too wish-washy. Either they're really good or they're really not. And in all honesty, I think Arizona is kind of similar, not drastically, but they've shown that their strengths and their weaknesses, just like most teams do this time of year. But I think they're more consistent in their performance. So give me Arizona.
I'll take Chicago. Both teams have had their ups and downs, but if I had to trust one offense over the other, I would probably take Chicago's. And I do think the defense for Chicago is a little bit better than the defense in Arizona. And that's what Chicago fans are used to, the defense winning games, and I think they're going to do it here as well. They'll be able to contain Murray and co. Ooh, here we go. Finally one that should be fun, except I guess Jordan Love might be out. But Green Bay hosting Detroit, Bobby.
Detroit.
Scott.
Yeah, I'm going to go with Detroit on this one. I think they're going to be fired up for this one, and it's going to be it's other than some of those three other games that were kind of like, uh, this is going to be a really good game. So I'm definitely going to go with Detroit. It's going to be one to watch. I think it's going to be the best of the weekend.
Brendan.
I think Detroit's going to win. Even if Love plays, I think Detroit will be able to take care of them.
Grayson.
Give me Detroit. Honestly, one of the few teams that hasn't won a Super Bowl that I want to see, go all the way is definitely Detroit. And I mean, they're doing good. They're doing really good. And I think they pay their dues like many other teams in the NFL have. And I think that aside, I still want to see. I like them more than I like Green Bay, and I kind of want to see them more. So give me Detroit.
Yeah, I'm going to take Detroit, especially I'm not 100% sure if Jordan Love's going to be playing. I know as far as when he was out earlier in the year, they were fine, but Detroit's just a whole nother beast. We'll see come next week when we do this. Maybe they've made some plays for some more defensive players or offensive weapons. Not that they need any more, but I think Detroit's going to try to do kind of what Baltimore's doing and just kind of go all in and try to make this a Super Bowl or bust year. And I think they're going to beat Green Bay here. Ooh, Seattle's at home versus the Rams, Bobby.
Versus the Rams this week.
Scott.
I'm gonna go with the home team on this one. It's gonna be a pretty decent game. It'll be fun to watch, but going with the Seahawks.
Brendan.
I guess I'll go Seattle. The Rams definitely have more of a shot now because they have both the receivers back in Cooper and Nakua. So Cooper, Cup, and Nakua. But I still think Seattle will win.
Grayson.
Yeah, give me Seattle on this one. I just think that even though they have their best receivers back as well, LA just doesn't really have it in them. I think they're kind of running on borrowed time at this point, and they're kind of starting to show it. So I think, honestly, Seattle probably has a leg up on them in this one.
Oh, man, this one's tough because at times Seattle's looked really good. Like the Atlanta game. And then other times they've just looked bad, and the offense has looked really bad. But I'll ride with Seattle this week. I don't even know. I think it'll be a fun game. I think the Rams are much better than McVay's just a good coach, and I think people tend to forget that. And they still have a lot of good offensive weapons. I think it'll be tight. It's a divisional game, but I think Seattle, especially if DK's playing, will be fine. Ooh, and then Sunday night we get Joe Flacco and the Colts traveling to Minnesota against Sam Darnold. Scott, why don't you give us the pick first?
Well, again, it's kind of this is an iffy one or the other. Normally I would kind of lean toward the Vikings, especially with them being at home, but I could easily see a lot of people picking on the Colts, picking the Colts, not picking on them necessarily. Probably good reason to pick on the Colts. Never sure what's going on there, but yeah, when picking one or the other, I'm going with Minnesota. I have to go against go against the heart, go with the brain, follow the brain instead of the heart, and go with Minnesota.
Bobby? Were you taking Minnesota or Indianapolis?
Minnesota.
Brendan?
If I would have rather them flex out the Jacksonville game for one like the Detroit game for this game. This seems silly. I'm also going Vikings though, but I'd rather watch my Eagles play than the Vikings play.
Grayson?
Give me Papa Flacco. I'll take the Colts. I think, despite everything else, I think that I don't know. I'll just take the underdog in this one. I'm just gonna take the Colts as the way I'm gonna explain my choice. God.
Yeah, that's good. I was going to take the Colts as well. I think the Vikings, obviously, they got off to the hot start, but the big question was how long can Sam Darnold do that and replicate that? And especially last Thursday, there was a lot of big questions I saw in the passing game where Justin Jefferson, amongst a whole host of other receivers, were wide open and the ball was 10 to 15 yards short. And I don't think it's going to get better. And so if you had to make me pick a quarterback to win this game, I will pick Joe Flacco and the Colts. All right. So please, what? Oh, okay. Monday night, not too bad. Since we know Bobby's going to pick not the Chiefs. Grayson,
No.
who do you got? Baker and the Bucks or Patty Mahomes and the Kansas City Chiefs?
You know, the Chiefs is such a boring pick, even though they're probably going to win. Give me Baker Mayfield. He's my boy. Give me Tampa Bay. They're probably, who knows, this could be their first loss of the season, which let's hope so. But yeah, I think if anybody can beat and give the Chiefs their first L of the year, it'll be Tampa Bay. So give me Tampa Bay.
All right, Bobby.
Tampa.
Two Tampas. All right, Scott, who you taking?
Oh, this is a television network's ratings gem, having Mahomes versus Baker. But it's going to be the Chiefs. Chiefs are 9 points, 9-point favorite. Chiefs will cover. I'll tell you that. Go Chiefs.
Brendan.
I agree. Also, Chiefs. I think last week was a good game against a divisional opponent, but this one isn't in division, so they'll show their ugly head and miss Mike Evans and Chris Godwin.
Well, plus I think we'll see a little bit more of Hopkins this week. Obviously, he has a little bit more time to integrate into the system. So I'll take the Chiefs as well. Until someone beats them, I think it's hard to pick against them because they are not playing their best football and they're finding ways to win. And I know I joked about the beginning of the year, but who knows? Maybe they do go undefeated and three-peat. It would be the end of the world at that point. But yeah, Bobby agreed. He said yes. Bobby, do you want to update us on the World Series right now?
5-3 Yankees.
All right. So Yankees for Bobby are still alive currently. Where are we at? What inning?
5th.
All right. All right. Well, Scott, what are you doing this weekend? Anything fun?
Gonna make sure come Saturday evening be watching the Hoosiers at Michigan State. That'll be fun. We'll see how that goes. Right now, kind of been the backup quarterback, Taven Jackson. Led him this past week, when the Curtis Rourke had hurt his thumb. Could very well be a second big game for Jackson. We'll see how that goes. But still going to be behind my Hoosiers. Go Hoosiers.
Brendan, up to anything fun, or were you watching the game?
I have to work again this weekend, so probably not. I'll try to watch the games on Sunday, but we'll see what happens.
I mean, it doesn't seem like you're going to be missing an exciting slate, so not a huge loss this week. Bobby, where are you watching the football game
I
this
don't
weekend?
know. I went last week. We went to the Pines Bar and Grill. They're expensive. Their prices are outrageous now.
Well, see, now they actually got to pay their employees, so that's why the prices went up.
Yep, for a burger now, it's like $18 now.
Yeah, I mean, below, what was it before, like $11? But again, they went like a month without paying employees, so that's probably how they were able to scrape by on those cheap
Yep.
prices. Grayson,
Yeah.
what are you up to outside of you'll be back on the channel on Thursday to talk some more Halloween themed movies? But besides that, what are you up to?
Gonna go try to catch that Venom movie that just came out, and then gonna go watch some football down at Home Team Barbecue up here in Aspen. But other than that, not a whole heaping heck of a lot.
Yeah, like I said, we will be doing another Halloween themed deep dive this Thursday, so keep an eye out for that. Of course, we'll be back next Tuesday, which is, I guess, election day as well. So
My
I guess we
birthday.
can keep and Bob's birthday. Look at that, three things going on next week. So we will sing Bobby happy birthday if you want to witness that, and we'll talk about all that happened. We will also be having some more stuff about Stinking Springs and the Monument going live next week as well as a couple weeks later. So keep an eye on that, and we'll be back to talk Venom live in a few weeks. But don't forget, till next time, more sports chats on the left, more about us here, which what went live yesterday, a book review on the right. I was trying to think. And don't forget to hit like and subscribe and let us know, do the Yankees come back and win the World Series? Tell us in the comments below.